Well, we're recording, so
Oh my goodness. I better stop saying racial slurs.
I don't want to have to edit that out because that didn't happen. And I
I feel like I'm working my hardest to get canceled without actually doing anything that gets canceled. That's my
You're
life's
starting
goal is like
rumors about yourself, which is wild. Like untrue, completely fictional rumors.
all right. Well, are we ready to go?
Sure.
I think so.
Okay. Last time on Mouse and Dungeons and Dragons and Mouse, um, we met four brave mouse adventurers, Sorrel, Butter, and Major, and they were disaster struck them when they were caught in a violent storm, and their entire caravan was destroyed, with the exception of themselves. Searching for shelter in the rain, they found a small cave, but they had bit off more than they had bargained for when they discovered the cave was infested with spiders, and another party of mice had met terrible fates in the cave. But they were able to save three mice: Hayseed, Leaf, and Petunia, and get out with their lives barely intact. Um, you guys rested the night, and that was the last thing you did. You chatted with them about some local news and slept through the last few hours of the night and into the day. Morning breaks. Uh, the three of you and your three companions. Where would you have camped? In a like a burrow or something? I don't know.
Where
Uh,
mice sleep, probably.
where mice sleep. You would have found a nice mouse sleeping spot in the wilds. And you awaken to hear the soft sound of gentle rain coming down, one of the first spring showers of the year.
All right.
Except for the giant storm that happened.
Gentle shower.
I just realized that all of our characters got over the fact that their caravan and everything got destroyed real quick because we didn't talk about it once.
We had giant spiders to worry about.
We did.
Got pushed out of the way.
It was an eventful night, and
It was.
you also didn't really know the caravan that well personally, unless you want to invent a story. But you guys would have met most of the caravan at the start of the
We
journey.
we move forward, not backward.
Whatever, if any of you die, I will no longer remember you.
We'll move on to the next mouse that we conveniently come across.
Yeah.
Is there
Great.
anything you guys wanted to do, like bookkeeping, or did you just want to set out?
I think we wanted to sell stuff.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah, but we
we
can't
we
do that
have
yet.
we have treasures and things. Apart from that, I assume that the others are either going with us or doing their own thing, and we no longer have to worry about them.
Yeah, over breakfast, you would talk about plans, and they would mention that they're heading south, so they can follow you. They can accompany you on the road for a little ways, but um, they'll head a different direction. They'll part ways at the little wood, they say.
All right. I think we would like to make our way over to that wizard tower that you had told us about. Seems the most interesting place, and he might know a little bit about some of the things we found in that hole in the wall.
Well, that's good to hear. Tormund, he's a good wizard, and he may have work for you. I would not recommend going to Emmental Manor as you had planned.
Yes, unfortunately.
While you're headed there, make sure to stop at Owlton. It's a small town near the Wizard's Tower. They'll set you up with provisions and bed.
Mighty kind of them. Now all that's left to do is wait for this rain to stop. No doubt it'll be another week or so, but what
The
else can you do?
the pattering on the roof of wherever we are stops instantly. Oh, sick.
That's how it gets you. Let up for a few minutes and then cut you in a downpour as soon as you step outside.
Butter walks to the door and like tries to juke out the rain the moment he like
You dodge at least 8,000 raindrops, but you get caught by a few hundred. So
I
All in
shouldn't.
all, it takes about
Devastating.
a quarter of a second.
I mean, your
Scientifically, all
success
of
rate
that
was
rain was already falling. He just happened to choose the exact worst time to step outside.
That's the. Have you seen the idea of how terrifying it would be if instead of raining and snowing incrementally, it all just came down in one
just
flat
like one
sheet?
big sheet.
We're expecting 3 inches of rain right now.
Here we go. Duck and
Everybody hold your
cover.
breath.
Yeah, I see no reason to tarry. As soon as the weather allows, we can get on the road.
Well, you slept a little bit later than you normally would. With the events of the night, you were up pretty late, and you slept into mid-morning. The morning provisions go as they would normally, with the absence of a few caravan members. Did you guys remember to eat rations last night before you went to bed?
We hadn't written it down, but I assume that
But
our mice
presumably
did
the
eat.
At some
the
point
mouse's
during the
stomach.
rest, you would have done a use of your rations. So
Okay.
make sure to note that, whether it's breakfast or dinner. Um, and yeah, you set off in the kind of overcast gray morning. The lavender foothills are a little bit tricky to pick through, especially given the heavy rains of late. The muck and the mud goes up to your ankles, but you have heavy boots to travel through it. It's nowhere near as bad as it was last night. It seems like anything that was going to slip and slide has already done so. Um, the travel through the Lavender Foothills takes doesn't take any longer than you would have hoped. One entire watch, I believe, to go through the Lavender Foothills. Let me double check that. Sorry. It's the first time I'm doing overland travel, so I gotta consult the rule book.
Yes, I'm also going to open the rule book.
I am not going to open the rule book.
That
All right.
feels like what
You're
Major
just
would
gonna
do.
have to trust me, Kevin.
Kevin is so in his character that he just knows.
I kind of get the feeling that Major refuses to read any stories written by anyone other than himself.
He doesn't read that. He performs the stories. As far as I
Exactly.
know.
Fuck, where is it?
It's on page 7 of the PDF Overland Travel. It is 1 hex per
there it is.
watch unless it's difficult terrain.
Okay, great. So it's not difficult terrain at all, but it does take you about 6 hours to make it through the Lavender Foothills. You are going to maybe get a random encounter. See about that. No random encounter, but this is now the 4th 2 that I've rolled out of 5 random encounters. I just want to let you know.
Wow.
So that is an omen. So let me check the encounter table for this area.
We hear a thunder strike as if another rainstorm is about to come in.
Oh yeah, my encounter tables is just full of thunderstorms of varying degrees.
While we were inside the spiders thing, we were like, and suddenly from the ceiling comes water. You don't know where it's coming from.
Okay, I will say that you see in the ground giant divots in the ground, and after walking past a couple of them, you recognize them as fox footprints.
That's not good.
In the fresh mud, it seems like they're pretty new.
Relax. I had plenty of fox friends.
I have fox friends.
But yeah, other than that, nothing else of note happens. You take in the beautiful lavender foothills. They're very well known, even in this heavy rain, for their delicate aromas. And in the springtime, it's the best time to see all the lavender growing on the hillsides. The next watch, I assume you guys are going south to the tile beneath you, following with your companions.
We're in the
Due
lavender
south or
foothills.
southwest?
Southwest, yeah.
Yeah.
Next to Solstad, the one on the left.
Right. Sorry, you're going to the. I mean, you can go to Solstad if you want, but
We're
you're
the
going to the Wizard Tower, correct?
yes.
Yes.
So southwest.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. What you were saying, Kevin?
While we're going through the lavender foothills, I would like to pick a lavender.
You can pick a lavender. They're very big.
Compared to you.
So
This is
ahead of
true.
lavender, right? Let me look up lavender real quick because I want to make sure I'm describing it correctly. So the big heads of lavender, right? They're like the tall kind of shaft. There's like they're easily 3 times your height from the bottom of the flower to the top of the flower. But if you pick like one individual flower, it's probably like the size of your head. You can climb up and nibble one off if you want.
You're very
Hmm.
relaxed for the rest of the hike.
Actually, instead, I would like to grind up a lavender into an essence of lavender, and because the spider fang I currently have has no venom in it, I would like to fill the spider fang with the essence of lavender.
Should have known you were plotting something. So that is something that I will let you do if you have enough lavender, and if you have enough time. So
I mean, we're in the field of lavender.
so you
Presumably, there's going to be enough.
But when
you
is the
could
next
gather a lot of
thunderstorm?
lavender. You could gather a lot of lavender, but I would say that will take you some time. Maybe I don't know, 2 hours, 3 hours. And I will say that it would take up 2 inventory slots for all the lavender you would need to get essence of lavender, and you would have to spend some time grinding it up. It wouldn't be just like a thing that you do. You'd have to do it like in a town or during a rest or something.
That seems excessive for me to make an exotic perfume.
Yeah,
I was wondering
it
if you were
feels
going to use it
like
as an injectable. I didn't know where
I,
you were
I will
going.
pass on
Like-
this then.
feels like the kind of thing like if you wanted to start up an industry, you could do that, or if you wanted to like spend some dedicated time during a week of rest or something. But for
I'll
now,
remember
it's
that.
out of your way.
Mater,
Um,
I've worked with several merchants, and I think what you've done is you found a need. And that is the first step.
So one thing that's worth noting, I think, about the lavender is it's like way above your heads, so it takes some climbing up to hit lavender. Yeah. So you travel through anything else you wanted to do in the lavender foothills? Goes up and down, it rolls. It's kind of
I
sandy.
guess not.
Okay. The next hex that you're going to enter, I'll go ahead and turn that on. You crest one last hill and you look down and you see the land kind of flatten out in front of you. It's still kind of gently rolling hills, but it's nowhere near as tall as it has been. The next, there we go. The next tile that you're going to find, the next region that you're going to find is the Little Wood. It's a small pine grove tucked at the bottom of the last lavender foothill. And the bed of pine needles is very soft and pokey and everything, and evergreen forest. So it's kind of a brilliant swath of green in the middle of this of dark green in this bright green landscape. Is entering the exiting the lavender foothills and entering the big wood, the little wood, is where Hayseed, Leaf, and Petunia inform you that they're heading south to Windy Thistle to help out Basil and the defenders. They'll thank you for helping them and hope that they see you again. In fact, Hayseed in particular will say that they're looking for, brave mice to help them in the defenders, so you should come swing by sometime.
We will if we end up playing enough rounds of this game.
I can think of no braver group.
I probably could if I had spent some time thinking about it, but we'll go with that.
The travel through the little wood takes another watch, and we're gonna roll for another random encounter? Question mark. I rolled a 1.
You mean another omen? Oh.
Oh my god, it's a random encounter. I finally did it. Where's the little wood?
So you've rolled only 1s and 2s.
I've rolled only 2s and a 6. And then
Oh, it's
now
a
there's a
6.
1.
Oh,
A 6 is
okay.
nothing. A 6 is
Gotcha.
nothing.
I think only one
A
is
1 is
something,
an
right?
encounter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
Time for us to get eaten by birds.
14 foxes. Come on.
Oh, wait. I rolled a wrong one. Hang on. Where are we? Littlewood. Oh, okay. And then I need to roll. Sorry, this is the first time I've done this. This is exciting. Um, okay, for their reaction. And then roll a d12. Okay. That doesn't make sense to me. Oh, I see. I shouldn't have rolled an encounter. Should I have? Fuck. I shouldn't have rolled an encounter. God damn it.
We
All right.
saved. We're saved again.
Well, I'm gonna do it anyways.
No.
Shit.
Okay, well, so it takes a few hours of traveling through the little wood, and because the pine trees kind of block out a lot of the light and they drop all the acidic pine needles. There's actually very little underbrush. So, oddly enough, even though you're in the pine grove, you feel pretty exposed. Normally, there's like tall enough grass that you feel like you can kind of blend into your surroundings, but here you're wide out in the open. And it's only a few hours down the trail after you left Hayseed Leaf and Petunia that you start to hear some soft chatter around um, along the road that you're following ahead of you. It seems like intelligible. It seems like a language you understand, but you can't quite make out the words from here.
Butter takes his already large ears and then puts his paws, like, makes a slightly larger cone to see if that helps.
Like a big satellite dish. Like
Yeah. He
yeah.
does deer ears, except he's already a mouse which has those, so he just kind of like.
So yeah, I mean that helps a little bit. You're able to like pick out bits and pieces. It seems like kind of banter. Lighthearted. You could pick up a few like bursts of laughter. The other thing you notice is it's not mouse speak. It seems like some other sort of like they have an accent, maybe another kind of rodent.
It's
You would
rat
know.
speak.
You would know that other rodents speak the same language as you, just with an accent.
We all speak common,
Yeah.
but wait, a couple of us have different accents, but we're all mice. How does that
Well,
work?
you're from a faraway land. It's not the same accent as Hayseed Leaf and Petunia.
Ah,
Other travelers on the road. More than likely bandits and brigands, but they're the direction we gotta go.
You can't just say that.
Why not?
Maybe they're friendly.
Mm, I prefer to say maybe it's bandits. Then I'm less surprised when it is.
I prefer to say that maybe it's bandits because I got an itchy sling finger and ready to use.
Just don't like being caught unawares.
Butter uses his hook on a stick as a walking stick, so he's ready just in case.
You guys advance on down the road.
That's the way we gotta go.
Okay.
They're
You round the
laughing. They
corner,
can't be mean.
and you kind of climb over a couple of roots that have grown into the path, and as you round around one particularly large tree, you see a small group of, in fact, rats uh, sitting and chatting and bantering by the roadside. It looks like there are 3 of them. They haven't noticed you quite yet.
Hello.
Oh, hey, how you doing?
Just
I'm gonna do your voice if you do that voice.
we're just walking down the road, trying to make it to the next village.
Oh, that's great to hear, buddy pal. My
For a
name.
second I thought you knew my name.
Nah, I don't know your name, but I'd love to learn it.
It's Butterball.
Name's Digger. Nice to meet you.
All right, that's not quite as long as mine, but I'll do my best to remember it.
Well, you don't gotta remember not my name. You just gotta remember a few important things that I'm about to tell you. Have you ever heard of Solomon the Great?
Why, of course.
Oh, you have. That's good to hear. That is good to hear. Where you heard of him?
Oh, in my travels, I hear many a tales. I have one especially good to tell you later about the spiders of the dark cave.
Oh,
But for now, why don't you fill in my friends? I would like to hear how another tells the story.
well, you see, uh, I don't know where you heard of Solomon the Great. There's been some pretty nasty things said about him so far, but I heard, especially them mice folk, that no unkind words to your kind, but they don't like him very much. But I gotta tell you, this Solomon, he's doing great things here in the wood. Um,
Well, otherwise they wouldn't call him that.
exactly. I like the way you think. What's your name, partner?
Ah, Major, put her there.
Major, that is a capital name right there, friend. And he like gives you a good hearty shake of the hand.
Butter turns to Sorrel and goes,
That all names started with a capital.
I suppose
Well,
it
you
depends
see,
on where you're from.
I'm on a bit of a mission. You see, I'm here to evangelize the good word of Solomon the Great and his brother Hammurabi. They're here to fix the wrongs done to the little folk of the big wood and the little wood. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? You following what I'm saying?
I smell what you're stepping in.
That's good to hear, son. That's good to hear. Um,
You might want to
well,
take a step to the left, actually. It doesn't smell very good.
well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. First of all, that's a very funny joke. It's a very
No,
funny joke.
seriously, here's a leaf.
Ah,
You've stepped in. I'm not gonna describe it too much, in case you have a nervous disposition. But
one of the other rats kind of like so Digger kind of hesitates for a minute, unsure how to respond, and one of the other rats kind of speaks up. We got a problem here.
no, you've stepped in some droppings that someone has left on the road. It doesn't smell very good. You might want to take a step to the left, wipe it off in the grass over there.
He kind of looks at you and then he's like, ah, "That's very funny." Here, I'll take that leaf right here and wipe right up for you.
I just
The
didn't
other
want you
two
to be
rats
uncomfortable.
behind him kind of turn towards you, and you see that they have some sheathed weapons.
that's unnecessary.
We have sheathed weapons, to be fair.
I have an
It's true.
unsheathed weapon.
I'm intentionally not wielding my Rose's Thorn at the moment.
Well, look, yeah, I don't want to take up too much of your sweet time, but here's the thing, right? Doing the good work for the little people of the kingdom, it takes a lot of capital. Like it takes a lot of resources, and my brothers here, we're just here to raise some funds for Solomon the Great and Hammurabi to affect real change. Real change. Just a few pips. Like if that's all you can spare, that's all you can spare. I promise you, it'll pay dividends down the line once they affect the change that they're talking about.
Oh, that's a wonderful way to tell the story, but the way I've heard it is he helps the little folks so long as they're no littler than a rat.
No, 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 no. All they care about is that good little folk get what's coming to them. They get what they deserve, whether that's a good job or a stable life or safety from predators. They're here to protect us. I'm sure
And
you've
so you would
seen all
so
the
you would
dangers in the
say
world.
the mice on the outskirts, they too have gotten what they deserved? You've heard about what's been happening to them.
I ain't heard nothing like that. I don't know what you're talking about. All I know is that the powers that be are trying to keep you down.
If I may say something quickly, I have no idea what you're talking about, and the fact that you're becoming defensive is Not to my liking.
Defensive? I'm not defensive at all. What would give you that idea?
The
I ain't defensive at
defensiveness
all.
you are showing at the present moment.
That is another very funny joke on your part.
I'm
Listen,
not laughing.
just a
Like
few pips.
Butter is genuinely confused by this whole situation.
One of the other two mice behind him puts his paw on the pommel of his needle. And Digger keeps going, look, just a few pips is all I'm asking for.
I'm afraid we've had a bit of rough luck ourselves. We don't have really anything we can spare.
That is a
My
real
apologies.
shame. And, it's not an uncommon story these days. It is not, Them Emmental folks, they've been neglecting the little folk. You know what I mean?
Unfortunately,
Well,
not
Dig,
as much
I'll
as
tell
we
you.
might like. We've heard that something's been going on, but we actually don't know many of the specifics.
They've closed their gates to us. They don't want to help.
At some point, someone's gonna have to stop using the pronoun game.
Preposition.
I do not know what's going on here. If this is not clear.
I'm trying to tell you what's going on. I'm here to help. Solomon and Hammurabi, they're here to help.
Where are they? I don't see them.
They're down by the old chapel. You can go see them if you want. I promise they'll be happy to see you.
All right.
Well, Dig, my friend, I think we'll do just that.
Well, that's good to hear. But about that donation I was talking about.
We'll give it
Well,
right
wouldn't
to
it be
him.
best to go straight to the chapel?
You're going to deliver the donation to them in person?
We might as
I
well.
think
We're
that would
already
be
going to be
appropriate.
there.
No.
All right. Well, I guess that makes a lot of sense. That would save me a lot of trouble. Well, just make sure to tell them Digger sent you. That's I just they'll let you in real nice and smooth if you tell them Digger sent you with the donation.
I would have it no other way, my friend.
That's good to hear. Major was your name, right?
That is correct, Digger.
All right. Well, I'll be seeing you at the old chapel then. It's down southeast of here.
Well, fairly well.
And the three of them just calmly will continue strolling down
And we
the
waddled
road.
away.
The three rats kind of look at each other and still kind of processing what's going on as you guys walk past. And by the time you're gone, it's too late for them to follow.
The key with these types is that you're never supposed to give them no for an answer. You simply delay the time until such that they can no longer respond.
What are you talking about there, Major? I cannot stress enough how little I understood what went on just then.
Well, if we were to simply flat out deny their request for a donation, they would have only pressed harder, used different techniques, but instead we took control of the situation, and now we still have all of our pips.
Would we have? I mean, I guess we could have paid them, but no one explained to me why, or neither of you two seemed to be too keen on that idea.
Butter, when I had originally said that they were probably brigands or bandits, I was more right than you might have thought. That was that was a polite shakedown, to put it nicely.
They seemed so kind.
That's the polite part.
And as for the bit about the Outlands, I was only trying to gather more information. He said that the mice didn't look too kindly on their leader Solomon, and I felt the need to gather more.
I did find that suspicious.
I agree.
That being said, he was tough to crack. Perhaps something that we could look into without making ourselves as vulnerable as being on the road.
I wouldn't mind that. I think we'd be best suited by getting somewhere safe first and divesting ourselves of some of these treasures we've picked up. It's a bit much to be carrying around, especially with folks like them about.
Agreed.
Did you notice at the beginning that he was stepping in shite?
I did. I thought it was hilarious. I don't know why you made him step out.
Well, we were having such a kind of conversation. I didn't want him to.
He was going to go back into his chapel and start smearing shite on the floor.
It probably would have rubbed off by then. But his feet are
These
still
fox-
likely quite icky.
Those fox droppings are much stickier than you would expect.
Carnivores.
My delivery is here, I believe.
Food.
All right, what if we all just log off?
There is no God!
We are alone.
Major just suffers an incredible identity crisis. Oh, one piece of bookkeeping that is not fun.
Our
But I'm carrying 2 sets of torches, and I think somebody doesn't have any. Do we want to switch that around?
I have.
case-
I don't
full
have any,
torches.
but that's because one of those sets of torches only had one use left, and I thought we used that up at the end. So we should only
Yeah.
have 2 total sets right now.
We looted a third set, so I have
Oh.
2, but just where the treasure was landing in people's inventory.
Okay.
So
I
if-
mean, I have 1 inventory slot left, so I could technically take it.
I will give it to you then.
Yeah, that works.
Just in case we all fall into deep holes and don't have any light. Should keep these
Separate
evenly
deep
balanced.
holes.
Yes.
You don't think Major would easily be able to figure out his way in that situation?
I'm sure he would.
He would do something silly.
He would just start yelling.
He would befriend the mole people and convince them that he was one.
By
Yeah.
killing one and skinning it, and then.
And by mole people, I mean moles.
Oh yeah. Those rats are going to talk about that encounter. That's going to be part of the training.
They're gonna be like, wait, how did we not walk away with anything from that?
Like 10 years from now,
Just
Digger's
let
gonna be
them go.
teaching a class on shakedowns, and he's gonna be like, "All right, now if they tell you they're gonna deliver it in person, they're not gonna deliver it in person."
Hey, we might
Don't-
still. You don't know that.
It's key that you never take no for an answer. Also, don't take yes for an answer. Just mug them.
Don't let them talk.
And this is why whenever you call someone now with the technology we have, it says this call may be recorded for quality assurance. It is so that they can use examples like this and be like, so if this happens, it's not common, but
Don't get outfoxed or outmoused.
oh man, that is something that one of us has to say whenever we beat a fox for the first time. You just got outfoxed.
You guys better believe I put foxes in this campaign.
Yes,
It's you.
you said
You
that there
you
were
should have
footprints that would.
You should have known from the moment I invited you to play a Mausritter campaign that there would be foxes.
Yes, of course.
I hadn't even thought about the
I
fact
kind of
that
just
you
expect
like.
there's going to be foxes and everything Brandon does.
Well, I was
Exactly.
expecting that this was going to be all animals that would live in a foresty area, and foxes are one of them. So
Okay. God, that's really good. Holy shit.
What'd you get?
Italian food. So it's buffalo chicken mac and cheese. It's really good. There's an Italian
Is
restaurant in
that
town that's like,
Italian?
fantastic. I mean, it's it's
from the
Italian
old country.
enough. It's what I had every day in Rome.
It's actually the only thing there.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Actually, they don't actually, like they say wine is a Roman thing, but no, they just eat mac and cheese out of wine glasses. It's crazy.
So the funny thing is, a lot of the people nowadays, they're like, olives were really important to ancient Rome. But back then,
right
olives
back, my dad's
was the
calling me.
word that they used for buffalo chicken mac and cheese. And it just happened that over time, language changes.
That's hilarious.
I think I heard Jazz yell, and I just received a video.
Can I pause a recording? No, I can only stop a recording.
Oh my god. Okay, you know how sometimes you get splinters